Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the season finale here in our SRL Season 2 Tier 1. Well, it's been a very good season. Been some good battles. Championship's already been decided, the Drivers' Championship, as has the Constructors, but there's still things to play for today. Of course, drivers will want to finish as high as they can in the standings. Most notably, can Carcraft hold on to P2? Vision can beat him by 4 points today. He will take P2, which would be absolutely incredible for the Alfa Romeo, who have already won the Constructors. So to get P1 and 2 in the drivers would be fantastic. I'm sure that is the aim for today. I'll update you on the reserve drivers for today. There's quite a few actually today, I believe. So Joe Royal will jump into the Mercedes today. In the Williams, Rocky in the Ferrari, and Frank Efron in the Racing Points. I believe is that. In fact, which is in the Ferrari actually, with Rocky. So that's just changed since this morning when it was announced. IP in the Racing Point as well. Federico Sami in the Red Bull as well. So let's get all this set up. Interestingly, two late mates has retired from qualifying, so I'm not sure what's happened to him. Hopefully, I'm not sure actually what's happened to him. That's a bit weird. Unless he's challenging himself to start at the back. I'm not sure if there's some shenanigans going on. But it's been an odd final day for the season here at SRL, due to, of course, the IRL races starting today here at Bahrain. We had the F4 about 11:30 this morning, then we had F3, F2 shortly after that. So it's been a long wait for the F1 to get underway, but here we are. Our resident weatherman, Scotty Fennell. Guess I should do my job. Clear quali and rain forecast for the end of the race, which will be 45 minutes into the race. Thank you for that, Scotty. He never forgets his job, does he, our Scotty Fennell? Much appreciated, mate. So the cars are out for their first run at quali. Interestingly, only Yari jumping on the mediums. Maybe see if he can get that tyre strategy advantage, potentially. Just trying to figure out who is first. So Frico Toxic at the WLBDK is behind them lot. So I think, is it going to be Faddy to cross the line first? I think it might be, so we'll stay on board with Faddy. Unless are the Renaults actually ahead of him, or are they on outlaps? Yes, I think it is Faddy. I'll try it actually to cross line first. So he's the first set of time. It's a 107.5 for him. We'll stay on board with the goat of anxiety as a couple of drivers coming across the line. WLBDK does a 108. Faddy is 107.1. Then his teammate goat of anxiety, a 107.2 from him. Harry coming around the final corner, 107.4. It's good enough for P3 for him. Joe Rowe goes provisional pole, 106.9. It's all happening so fast here. Witcher goes 6th fastest, 107.4. Yari on the medium, very good time from him, 107.3 for him. IP comes across the line, it's P10 for him, 107.7. Rocky has retired from the session, he's had a bit of an incident. Carcraft, something's happened to him as well. A bit strange, couple of drivers going pretty slow. We'll stay on board with Federico as he finishes his lap here. So he comes round the final corner in the AlphaTauri. And Federico Toxic is going to do a 107.7. It's good enough for P11. So definitely something has gone on here. I'm not sure what it is, just trying to find out. But yeah, here at Brazil, it's obviously a track. It's very quick. It's quite short. Not a lot of turns either at all, as you can see on the to the right of your screen. As we stay on board with Vision for the time being. But it's so easy as well to invalidate lap through track limits as well. Most notably, turn 2, you can cut the corner just trying to keep the speed up going into the second DRS zone. Can be a bit of a nightmare position for people, as a load of cars are jumping into the pits to change their tyres. And Rocky, sorry whoever I hit, I was looking back to move for someone and fucked it. Apologies for my language. So unfortunately for Rocky, that is the end of his quali, so he'll probably be starting quite far back. I wonder if it was too late, mate, he hit, I'm not too sure. I think it was actually his car craft, wasn't it, actually, we didn't see that. So I can see a McLaren out in front. Scotty Fennell, he's actually invalidated his lap. I'm wondering if he's going to come back in, but we will jump back on board with Bob Sada, who's on a fast lap at the moment, currently in P11, just outside those top 10 positions. Teammate O'Chalker just a bit further up the road on an outlap. We'll Harry Colley in the pits. Scotty Fennell decided to stay out, has he? Oh, he did, but he's validated his lap straight away, so that's a bit of a shame for him. And Bob Sadder has now invalidated his lap, so I was just talking about how easy it is to run wide, and a few drivers getting caught out, seems. See if O'Chalker can avoid it. It looks like he just has. A good run from him there. Really pushed in the track limits there in that turn. As he does a purple sector 1 for the Renault L Trucker. So very good start to his lap. Now it's all about keeping it nice and steady. Keep it tight and close to the curb, which he does very nicely, L Trucker. There's a bunch of cars getting out of his way. Harry Colley and Witcher getting out of the Renault's way. Very good from them. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice lap this from El Chocker. It's another purple sector 2. And he's definitely going to improve then on his time, as he keeps it nice and tight as possible. And he comes up to the line, El Chocker. And it's going to be a provisional pole now. It's going to be 107.2. Still though a very, very good lap from him. Hello, Jord. Welcome to the stream, mate. Hope you're well. I don't know if he invalidated his lap there, but he hasn't, so good on him. I think there's other people a little bit further up the road. I can see a freak of Sammy. I can actually see a Red Bull as well. I think it's the goal of anxiety. And we've just caught the end of his lap, and it's provisional pole for him, 106.8. Meanwhile, I think it's Mavs coming across the line next, 107.3. Next it's one of the Haas freak of Sammy. He's up to P11 now, 107.5. There's another one coming across the line, WLBDK. He's P16, 108 with his first timed lap. Faddy comes across the line. He goes back up to P2, 106.8. Yari goes on provisional pole, 106.7. He has ditched the mediums and is on to the softs. He's got provisional pole as it stands. I mean, my job Royal invalidates his lap, so he jumps into the pits. I can see a McLaren coming around the final corner, so we'll jump on board with Harry Colley in the McLaren. And he is going to do a 107.1. He's up to P5. Decent lap from Harry, decent improvements all around. Witcher is going to go again. Meanwhile, there's a Red Bull coming around. Going inside to jumping into the pits. Meanwhile, the Frico Toxic coming around the final corner. It is. Currently in P14 with a 107.7 as his fastest so far. Can he get closer to his teammates' time? He can. It's P10, 107.3. Frico Sammy. Looks like he's run out of fuel, so he's trying to stay out of everyone's way. Meanwhile, Joel in the pits. Yari jumps into the pits as well. Carcraft also jumping into the pits. Hasn't set a lap time yet, which is not ideal for him. Especially if he wants to hold on to that P2 in the constructors. In the drivers, sorry, not constructors. Meanwhile, Hardy's going to jump into the pits. And Witcher's going to set his lap time. And for Witcher, it's a 107.2. He's up to P9. A decent little improvement from Witcher there. Frico Toxic is going to come across the line next, I believe. In fact, I think his teammate is going to, but we'll stay on board with Frico. In fact, teammate jumped into the pits and made the right decision, and now Frico is going to jump into the pits as well. Easy Rigby, looking forward to a good race. And I'm losing my cool already, it's getting exciting already. That is Row, I believe. Welcome to the stream, pal. Joe Rowe about to start. Another fast lap for him, currently in P4. It's been a good qualifying for him so far. He'll want to improve by another couple of attempts to get himself back closer to his teammates. Meanwhile, it looks like there's a Renault coming around the final corner. I think it's Bob Sada. It's an outlap for him, so we'll check back with him in a bit. Meanwhile, Witcher is jumping into the pit lane. I wonder who's next to cross the line. IP's on an outlap, so it's not going to be him. So we will jump on board with Joe Royal, I think. As he's on a fast lap at the moment. Although I think he's going quite slow, so I'm not sure if he's going to set his time. But we'll wait and see. I think he's going to go again, actually. So we will jump on board with, I think it's a Williams that's behind him. It's dark, he's not going to set a lap, he's just doing an outlap as well, as is Carcraft. Bob Sada is setting a lap, so we can stay on board with him. It looks like it's going to be a very good, it's going to be a big improvement from Bob Sada from his last lap. And it is a decent improvement to 107.3, which puts him up into P12. Meanwhile, Chocker has invalidated his lap, so he's not going to set it. Vision's on his outlap at the moment, currently in P7. We know he's capable of a much faster lap than that. Hello Vico, welcome to our Tier 4 Championship winner. How are you doing, mate? Carcraft on his sector 2, as is Yari, so we'll stay on board with Yari because he's going to cross the line first. Big spot of IP getting out of the way. Yari's actually on a purple sector 2. Currently our provisional pole sitter is Yari. And he is going to set it. I think it's going to be a pretty good improvement this as well from Yari. It is, it's a 106.5. There's a couple of cars following in behind. Carcraft's one of them. And it's a 106.8 and he is up to P4 with that lap. Pretty decent work from him. Bob Sad has invalidated his lap. So we'll check back on board with Vision. And Vision comes across the line, and it is going to be a 106.9, only good enough for P5 for Vision. Joe Will in the pits still. With just over 4 minutes left to go. You're going to see a lot of cars jumping into the pits now to just change tyres for the last time. To try and get excuse me, give him the best chance of getting that provisional pole. Meanwhile, WLBDK currently last in terms of the timings. So he wants to improve to try and get himself off the bottom. I'm not sure if he's improving though, so he might jump in the pits, but we'll stay on board with him, see what he does. And he is going to stay out, so he is going to set the lap. And it's a 107.7, and he gets himself up one place. So a little improvement from him. Now with our resident weatherman Scotty Fennell on an outlap, so we'll check back on board with him later. Hopefully our resident weatherman can get himself up the grid a little bit. WLBDK on a lap at the moment. And I don't think anyone else is actually doing a lap at the moment, so we're going to stay on board with WLBDK in the Haas. In fact, I think he's just going to go back to the pits, so it won't stay on board with him. We'll go on board with IP. Yeah, it's a shame the season's over, Vico. You were worthy competitor, mate, and well deserved to win the championship. Very fast driver. So with just about two and a half minutes to go now. Yari on personal pole by 2.5 tenths to the goat of anxiety. Faddy not far behind his teammate as well. Carcraft pretty close as well. So this is nowhere near a done deal yet in terms of who's got pole position. Meanwhile, Scotty Fennell's going to come across the line. Currently in P16, is our resident weatherman's going to improve? I don't think he has. He's just missed out, unfortunately, on improving. I think Sammy's on an outlap, so we'll jump on board with Harry Cully, who's also on an outlap. Bob Sad is retired from the session. The goat of anxiety has took provisional pole off Yari. It's a 106.4 from him, so really good work from him. Next season, my championship, I need a big improvement. There's a lot of... The league is getting better and better in every single tier. So it's getting harder and harder to win races and stuff. Magic K is just going to invalidate his lap time. Meanwhile, his teammate comes across the line to start another lap. He's currently in P12. Meanwhile, I think, is it Vision about to start his lap? Yari coming... No, he's not coming on the final corner. He's just started his lap. I would have had him today if I hadn't got rear-ended. I had you, Rolad. We had a good little battle until that happened. Oh, unfortunately, Yari's invalidated his lap. That's an absolute nightmare. He's not going to get back either. So he's not going to get provisional pole today, which will be music to go of Anxiety's ears. Right, Harry Cullen's going to come across the line. What time's he going to set? It's a 107.1. He does not improve. He stays P7. Faddy, he's invalidated his lap. He's not going to improve. But I think he is going to set another lap, which is good for him. El Choc is now going to come across the line next. And El Choc is going to set a 107.2. He's up into P7 now. Andrew K next to come across the line. And at 107.2 he does not improve. Joe Royal coming across around the final corner here. Vision first is 106.7 is good enough for P3. Joe Royal 106.9 slightly slower. He's up to P6. Decent qualifying performance from him. Carcraft invalidated his lap, so that's the end of his. Meanwhile, Resident Weatherman jumps into the pits. Dark is going to come across the line next. Doesn't improve, stays P12. Anyone else out? WLBDK is on a lap at the moment. Is Faddy as well? Oh, he's validated his lap, so we'll stay on board with WLBDK. Who is going to be the last person to set a time for qualifying. So can he... He has improved by a couple of attempts. So there'll be a few drivers in front of him anxiously looking over their shoulder here as WLBDK is going to come across the line. How much is he going to improve by? By 5 cents to 107.2. I'm not sure where that puts him. Puts him P11 just outside the top 10 so for strategy. That's not actually probably the worst thing. And on this final race day, the GOAT of Anxiety takes pole position in that Red Bull. Yari follows just behind him, and Vision takes P3. But crucially for Vision, Carcraft is in P5, so Vision has got Carcraft exactly where he wants, a couple of places behind, if he wants to take that P2 in the driver's standings. So let us know who you think is going to win the race. Who are you cheering on for this race? The GOAT of Anxiety, I think, is really desperate to put down a mark potentially for next season. So I'm backing him to hold on to his pole and win the race. Although Yari and Vision are going to be very difficult to stop, of course. And of course, Carcraft will be around there too. So literally anyone could win it, and of course if Scotty Fennell, our resident weatherman, is correct and there's going to be wet weather, that could play a huge part in who wins this race. So Vico says, I hope the GOAT, but I think it's going to be Yari. A fair prediction there from Vico. What happened with Too Late, mate? We're not actually really sure. I don't know whether he's just challenging himself and wants to start from the back, because he just retired straight away. So I've got a suspicion that's exactly what's happened. Matt thinks that it's going to be Bob Sada. The Bobby Dazzler is going to come away with a win on this final race day. Very interesting. If we have a look at the tyres, of course, top 10 on the softs, no surprise. They can't change those tyres. They have to start on what they qualified. But interestingly, WLBDK going on the hard. So is that going to be a one-stop? Get to the wet weather and only have to stop once. Interesting strategy from him. Witcher, Dark, Farico, Toxic and IP on the mediums. And for Bob Sada, Rocky, Scotty and Too Late, mate, it is the soft tyre compound. Scotty Fennell says Bob will bin it first lap. It's not very nice. I think he said something about that because he has the championship. He might as well give himself a little challenge, to be fair, Vico lad. Catch us for when he watches the race back multiple times this week. So for the final time, the drivers line up on the grid after their formation lap. Scotty Fennell will finish last. Terrible driver. Skullface, you nasty bastard. Probably just put him in it now he knows who he actually is. But I'm looking forward to this one, guys. Let's see. I would love a surprise. And don't count Too Late, mate. He may be starting P19, but he showed all season long what type of pace he has, so wouldn't even be surprised if he goes and wins this race in his last to first challenge. But other drivers, just one car I can see at the back that we're waiting for to line up on the grid before we get started here. I've been found out long before now. And we are underway here. I didn't even see the lights there because of that camera angle. Looks like the stands are messing up. But the Red Bull has managed to stay in front. See Carcraft and Harry Colley, is it, going side by side. Hopefully starting to fix themselves. So just bear with us as Williams Carcraft going very wide there. So Joe Will has got in front of him. What I'm looking for, there we go. Position change. Was Ferrari and McLaren, that's Witcher and Harry Colley going side by side there. As we jump a bit further ahead, Goat of Anxiety stays out in front after the first lap. There's yellow flags in sector 2 and 3, and it's Dark and Bob Sadder towards the back going slowly. I wonder if something's happened between those two. You see also another Renault and McLaren in the pits. It's Harry Colley and El Trocker. So quite a few drivers losing potentially their front wings with instance there. Curse of the commentator, sorry Bob. God damn it, Skullface. Sorry Matthew. As we jump back, we'll jump back in front. Change it to the interval. So it's been a decent start for the top four, who've all preserved their positions. Joe will gain a position up to P5 after Carcraft went wide, and Rocky's had a fantastic start. He's only up into P9, started P16, of course. Too late, mate, already up to P11 from P19 as well. El Chocker, Harry Colley on the other side of the spectrum, having horrendous starts, having to pit early, and are at the back of the field as Yari sets the fastest lap, obviously. And meanwhile on board with Faddy, gaining on vision here, but a bit too far back to really make a move happen there. Meanwhile, Too Late Mate's gained another position. He's into the top 10 now already, showing the mad pace that he's got on those those new soft tyres that he's starting with. Meanwhile, Carcraft having to hunt Joe Will down to try and get his position back. We're on board now with Tier 3 driver Rocky. We know how fast he is. He's all over the back of Frico Sammy here, and they'll go side by side. And this is going to be a very good move if Rocky can get it stick on the outside. Give each other space. He's got the inside line now as Frico Sammy, and he holds on to the position. And now Too Late Mate. It's going to put Rocky under pressure here. And Too Late Mate, oh, they go side by side later on the brakes, and I think he's got through, has he? He has. Too Late Mate is now up to P9. It's been a fantastic start from him. Meanwhile, out in front, as we were watching that, it looks like Yari has got in front of the Goat of Anxiety to take the lead of the race. And meanwhile, Carcraft has also got the position back from Joe Royal. But Joe Royal will get the RS here. Doesn't look like he's using his ERS, not this early into the race. Is Joe Royal. He's going to go towards the inside. Oh, this is going to be a nice move. He can hold it. Oh, he just gets caught on the curve there. Almost loses the car. Does really well to keep it under control. And it holds on to P6. That could have been nasty. As Rocky gets the first penalty of the race. It's a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. which is not ideal for him. So a couple battles happening on track at the moment. Looks like IP's got all past Scotty Fennell to take P13. As we'll have a look at the tyres. So the top 10 should be able to have these softs go to about probably lap 12, 13, maybe even longer than that. It'd be interesting to see if any of them think that they can run the softs till wet weather. That would be very difficult. That would be a lot of laps, to be fair. And that's why it's so exciting to have wet weather, particularly in these higher tiers, because wet weather throws strategy really into it and throws everything. It literally means that anyone can win the race, because if you come round and you pit first, and then the rain gets really heavy and everyone in front of you is on dry tyres, you can make up a lot of time and it can bring out some very freak results. See if we're going to get one of those. Meanwhile, we'll jump on board with Mavs UK, who's getting a little bit closer to Joe Royal here, joining the fight for P5. As we get a nice overview shot of the three cars. The car craft keeping it nice and steady, keeping the gap to about 5 or 6 tenths and nothing more. And we'll jump on board with Mavs UK, who doesn't seem to have a lot of ERS left in this early stages of the race. And no position changes there. Meanwhile, what has changed is that Federico and Sammy and Rocky are going side by side into turn 1. It looked like Rocky had got past Federico, but not quite, and he'll hold on to that position. Mavs UK just running wide there, and he's picked up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, so that's a shame for him. It's so easy to get corner cuts, so you just need to try and keep it as clean as possible now and hope the guys around him pick up penalties. Meanwhile, out in front, Yari has extended the gap from him and the Goat of Anxiety to 1.5 seconds. And Vision is closing the gap now to the Goat of Anxiety by the looks of things as well. It's less than a second, so he'll get the RS, which will help him. But crucially, Faddy is really close still to Vision, so these three could start battling pretty heavy after this next lap. And if Faddy plays his cards right, he'll just let Vision tow him a little bit closer, and when Vision starts battling with Goat of Anxiety, maybe he can try and get both of them. Potentially. Meanwhile, looks like Mavs UK is alright. He keeps getting really close to Joe Rowe, but just can't seem to get the move done. But music to his ears will be that Joe has just picked up his first 3-second time penalty of the race. Meanwhile, Rocky in the Ferrari trying to get past Frico. Sammy, tried to take him on the inside there. Frico did give him the space, to be fair, but just didn't quite have the traction or the track to make the move stick. Would have been one hell of a move that from Rocky. And he really does look like he's having a much better time here. It looks like Frico's struggling on those tyres. I think Rocky for starts outside the top 10, so his softs are going to be fresher than Federico's potentially. And ERS is opened up, he's got DRS as well. But looks like the Haas is going to hold on to the position for now. Although Rocky's all over him in this next DRS zone. And where's he going to go? He'll have to go the long way around the Haas. And has he got the move done? Looks like he has. And crucially, is Federico going to lose out to the other Ferrari, potentially. Not on this occasion. But Frico does look like he's struggling on those tyres. Which are of course on medium tyres, will have much better traction than him. And his tyres will be in a much better condition as well. But very interesting battle. We're going to leave that battle for now. We're going to jump back on board with Mavs UK, who's still trying to get close enough to Joe Real to make a move happen. The gap between Joe and Carcraft is just extended a little bit. And he's not, I don't think he's close enough to make a move happen here, and he has got the RS to fight it either. But as we said before, Frico has lost out to the other Ferrari, and Witcher is through. And Frico might even also lose out to the other Frico in Frico Toxic. It's incredible. Witcher's going to have to be really careful. He does really well to hold on to that position. The Haas has gone wide, and the Alpha Time is going for it. Oh, and he's just caught the curb, and he's spun. And I wonder if he hit his front wing. I don't know if he hit it side on. I hope he did hold it side on, so he doesn't have to pit. That's a massive shame for him. I think he just got caught onto the curb and a bit onto the grass, and yeah, that's a real shame. No one really at fault there. And that's a shame. Meanwhile, Faddy, is he thinking about a move on Vision here? Not a lot of ERS to fight with. And all this squabbling is helping Yari, who's extended the gap now to 2.2 seconds. So we're on lap 11 now. And I wonder if the Sofrans are going to have to think about pitting soon. If I'm not sure how far the rain is. I think it's still going to be a decent 10 laps or so away, although the clouds do look a little greyer now. But yeah, I don't think the Sofs will last another 10 laps if that's how long it's going to be. So they're going to be thinking about pitting soon for sure. But Too Late Mate's managed to get himself at the back of this little free car battle that's going on between Mavs, Joe and Carcraft. And Joe looks like he is getting closer to Carcraft, but he's not willing to use much more of his ERS. He knows it's a long game. In fact, the ERS is deployed now. But again, not close enough on this occasion. Carcraft placing his car perfectly to avoid Joe Will breaking late, to trying to get him into that corner. But so far, it's been a race of, well, there's plenty of battles on track, but because everyone's getting DRS off each other, not really a lot of overtakes being done so far at the moment. But Faddy here has got a decent run at Vision here. But again, no ERS to really fight the Alfa Romeo. And they've got equal pace at the moment, Faddy and Vision. Meanwhile, as Vico said, there is another battle going on, and Too Late Mate, he's just chipping away at Mavs now, isn't he? And the pit window is now open, apparently, so we'll see if anyone's going to jump into the pits after this lap. Are those spots of rain? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Meanwhile, because Sammy has got himself a 5-second time penalty for speed in the pit lane. That's a nightmare for him. I don't know if I can see rain, but I'm not exact. I wear glasses, so I'm pretty blind, so I'm not the best person to ask. But I think the rain is not far away now, as IP's picked himself up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting now. So our resident weatherman confirms it is rain. Meanwhile, Faddy's getting onto the back of Vision. And he's gaining. And which way is he going to go? Faddy's going to try and get him in the inside here. And they'll go side by side, but Vision's going to now have the inside line, and he'll hold on for now. But Faddy is going to get the RS once again on Vision, and there's the rain. You can see it now very clearly on Faddy's windscreen. Oh, and it's very close between these two, but Vision's just holding on. Very interesting. It looks like Scotty pitted only a couple laps ago, so maybe he maybe should have gone on a couple more laps. But El Choco looks like he's the first person to jump onto intermediate, so that could pay off massively for him. And we're going to jump on board with the leader Yari, who we're going to expect is going to jump into the pits for intermediate tyres, is he? Oh my word, Yari's staying out. And the goal is right, he's going to jump in. And has Yari just made an unbelievable mistake? Faddy also decided to stay out. Carcraft staying out as well, so they believe the rain isn't heavy enough yet. I think that's a fundamental error from those two. And meanwhile, Joe Royal is going to go side by side with Carcraft. He's got DRS, and he's going to jump to. He's going to have the inside line coming into here. I think he's got the move done here, although Carcraft is not giving it up easily. But he'll have to concede it, and Joe Royal takes P3. Meanwhile, Matt doesn't think it's wet enough yet either. Well, only the drivers who are out there at the moment can know how it feels on track. And there's yellow flags in Sector 2. And looks like someone's gone off. I'm not sure who it is. Wait for the message to say DRS is disabled. That's a very good point, Matt. So, Yari stays out again. Faddy also staying out. Carcraft not messing around. There's yellow flags. Joe Royal has spun it. And that's a shame for him. He's lost his front wing, and what a race he was having a fantastic drive, Joe Royal as well. But I don't know where he lost. Of course, we weren't watching him at the time, unfortunately. And that's a shame for him. But yeah, interestingly, Yari, Faddy, Too Late Mate staying out. You can see there, Too Late Mate just losing a little bit of grip now. And I think now is definitely the time to pit. You have to pit on this lap now for me. So let's think Vision at the moment is the furthest car ahead on the intermediates. What we look like. He's still struggling for grip even on intermediates. There's another car who's gone off in Sector 2. Looks like it's a McLaren going slowly. I'm not sure it is. And now Yari does pit. And is Faddy going to follow suit? He is. Too Late Mate is going to play the gamble of a lifetime and stay out another lap. Absolutely incredible. Magic K pitting, Rocky pitting, Witcher also risking it with Too Late Mate and staying out. So where does Yari come out? I think he comes out P6, does he? What's going on here? Faddy, is he jumped on? Has he had a bit of a mare in the pits? That's Faddy, because he's just come out on soft tyres. I think he had a mare in the pit lane with his tyres. Oh, what a nightmare for him. That's really going to ruin his race. Surely he doesn't think that that the weather's not going to get wetter. Be an unbelievable gamble. That is what he's doing. So too late, mate. From P18 leads this race because he hasn't pitted yet, and he's gonna stay out again. He doesn't think the track is wet enough, and you know what? He's not losing the car, and he's not losing pace, which is now gonna come in. IP's gonna stay out, and Farico's gonna stay out as well. Vico thinks that Tool is playing it right. Well, he is pulling away, but it's a massive gamble because it only takes one spin and you can do it from wing. That's the end of the race. That was what I'd be worried about. Meanwhile, Govincites, he's come in as speed in the pit lane and he's got 5 seconds added to his time at the end of the race. That's a massive shame for him. As he's actually jumped onto dry tyres as well. So Farico and IP at the moment are going to have to pit because these medium tyres are surely going to be dead now. Of course, they haven't pitted yet from the start of the race. But interesting, do they come out on dry tyres or are they going to jump onto intermediates? Let's see, is IP going to stay out? Oh, this could be nasty, this! Oh dear! Well, that's mental. That's mental, and I'm telling you now, that's IP's fault. Because we've been told you have to stay towards the pit lane on the left-hand side, and he's tried to feint him and then come in, and he's ended up ruining Farico Toxic, who's now not got a front wing, and has also had to stay out the extra because he's missed the pit lane. That is an absolute mess. And I'm sure the shoot will be very interested in that. So interestingly, too late, mate, on the medium tyres, is in an incredible position to win this race, because he can go to the end on those mediums as long as the rain doesn't get any heavier, and he still feels like he can keep the grip on the. He's still got good grip on the track. Too late, mate, is in an incredible position to complete the last to finish challenge, last to first challenge, in incredible fashion. I think maybe we'll have to create a Too Late Mate's own tier because he's just a class of his own, isn't he? So Farico Toxic and IP are going to have to pit, and they're both going to have to change front wings. Meanwhile, IP is still in the lead of the race because has he's got, I think it's 3 seconds of penalties he's got 5 seconds actually. So this race has just turned absolute bonkers. With drivers, and in fact there are drivers actually coming in, I've just noticed, are actually jumping back onto dry tyres. Yeah, Matt, I've just noticed that myself, mate. Well spotted, yeah, only 3 drivers are left on intermediate tyres at the moment. So Scotty Fenn on P3 is in a good position at the moment. Of course, we'll have to pit. He's on soft tyres. The guys around Africa, Sammy can go to the end. Toxic will probably, well, can he go to the end? He probably can actually. Bob Sadder. But IP and Witcher, I wonder if they're going to have to pit again, because they're going to be losing so much time in those intermediates, and clearly because Dark's now got past Witcher, as has Yari, and the Govern's has just lost 4 positions in one corner. He's going to have to get off those tyres. Is Witcher, and rightly so. There you go, he comes into the pits now. Meanwhile, we will look back to current battles. Yari has got through Dark, he's up to P7, or he holds on to P7. Meanwhile, Govanzai, he gets past Dark. Vision's going to now try and get past the Williams himself. And Dark runs wide on those hard tyres. It's a free position for Vision, who has to be really careful. He didn't go onto that curb and lose the car. Very good driving from Vision there. So only one driver still in intermediates, and it looks like Rocky is in the pits, so he is going to go on to soft tyres, might as well. Scotty Fennell now pits as well, so let's see how far he drops back. So, if we have a wee think about this, guys, so Bob Sadder on medium tyres for 11 laps. He's got 13 more to do. Can he do 24 laps on those mediums? I'm not too sure about that. He might be able to, but he'll have to do a lot of tyre preserving. Dark will have to pit, obviously. Surely he's not going to go to another 13 laps on those hard tyres. And everyone else could probably go to the end, so not a lot of pit stops left. As you can see. Fardy, of course, with that 5-second time penalty, needs to try and get away from too late, mate, and really take advantage of being on soft tyres. If we have a look at position changes really quickly. So incredible too late, mate. But for Farico Toxic and Bob Side, it's been fantastic from them. They gained 10 positions since the start. There's going to be a fight between those two for my driver of the day, I think, as it stands. Although it's going to be very difficult as well to keep that away from too late, mate. But let us know, guys, in the comments from now towards the end of the race who you think should get driver of the day. I think there's a fair few contenders so far, and there's still 12 laps to go, so don't pick too soon, as there's yellow flags in sector 1, and it looks like it's is it WOVDK that's gone off? It is. That's a shame for him. He's got to be careful as IPs comes around. So Yari's closed the gap on Bob Side to less than a second now, of course, on much fresher mediums, as Bob Side runs a bit wide there. And you wonder if Bob Side's going to find it very, very tricky to keep Yari behind, and he might be able to keep him behind for this corner, but oh yeah, it might get him in the next DRS zone that's just coming up. Because neither driver have got penalties. Actually, not as many drivers have got penalties, I thought, as Bob Side has to correct himself, and that's allowed Yari to get to the back of him, and he's going to go to the outside. He's going to make Yari do it the long way round as they go side by side, the Renault and the Merc, and they're still side by side. Fantastic battle, and it looks like Bob Side is just going to hold on to the position. Fantastic driving from both of them, and Bob Side just holds on to the position, and Yari will have another go. You would think on start finish straight, which is coming up in just a few moments. Meanwhile, very good spot again from Matt. who just noticed that Dark is onto Inters, and I was just sitting here very quietly thinking, is that raining again? And it is. And Yari is he gonna get Bob's out of here? It's a virtual safety car. WLBD Vision's out. It's Vision. Oh, that's a massive shame for him. And that is almost certainly gonna mean he's definitely not gonna be able to get P2 in the drivers now, and that's a massive shame. I don't know what happened with him. I apologise that I missed that, guys. As we go racing once again, Dark's got himself a drive-through penalty for speeding onto the virtual safety car, which is a nightmare for him. But that rain does look like it's just started to rain down, get a bit heavy. Scotty Fennell's jumped into the pits for intermediates now. And I think the rain is looking a little bit heavier than it did the first time round. As, oh yeah, proving my point just there. Almost losing it there really badly. So Faddy out in front at the moment, opting to stay out, and Yari, oh dear, that's a massive off, and he's reset himself onto the track. I'm not sure he can do that. That's very naughty from Yari. I know there's nobody around, but it clearly says you can't reset to the track. So I'll be interested to see if he gets penalised for doing that. But crucially, not everyone thinks it's interesting for the psychology now, guys, because you've got to think the first time out everyone jumped on intermediates, and then after a few laps it was like no, they should stay down the slicks. So it's a massive thing of, is it just going to be the same as last time, and am I going to regret changing on to intermediates? If you go someplace on the track, it resets you by itself. Oh, does it? Okay, that's fair enough then. So Yari hasn't reset. Well, that's fair enough then. That's fair enough. It looked like to me that he just reset himself to track. I didn't realise if he had to go so far off that he just resets it himself. Fair enough. Fair enough. So Go Anxiety and Bob are staying out, and the Go Anxiety's got a massive run at the Renault, of course on much fresher medium tyres, and he is through for P5. So 8 laps to go now in this race. Can Bob Sander try and get the Go Anxiety back? I don't think so. Not on 16 lap old medium tyres. I think it'll be very difficult. So Faddy still on those soft tyres to do another 7 laps with the rain lashing down. It's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. As he drives just behind Scotty Fennell. Of course he's going to lap him, our resident weatherman. So with seven laps, so seven laps to go now. If I can speak. The rain looks like it's just. I don't think the rain's getting heavier. I think it is just sort of staying consistently. Frico Sammy going very wide on there, and that's going to give the Go Anxiety a massive opportunity to get him here coming into this turn, and they'll go side by side. There's a little bit of contact. I think that's fair though, and the Go Anxiety says thank you very much and takes P4. And the Frico Sammy's not going to be able to get him back there, and the Go is now in front. Ooh, Frico has to be careful. I didn't run into the back of the Red Bull. So we have a look at the penalty situation very, very quickly. 5, 3, 5, 8. Okay. So, shit, they mean that. Trying to do maths here. So Federico is very safe from the government's items discover. Yo, flag sector 1 and 2, and it's IP, and he is out of the race, and he becomes on runner retirement, and crucially, it's a safety car. So IP becomes our third retirement of the race, and now, well, Dark's just got himself a drive-through penalty. He already had one this race. On poor Dark, he's having a massive, horrendous time with under these safety cars. Now, what the Faddy surely is going to come into the pits now. This is effectively a free pit stop. With 20 seconds and too late, mate. Very, very slow. Surely Faddy comes in now, and he does indeed. He's got that 5 seconds of penalties. Let's see. I wonder if any of these intermediate guys are going. If any of these guys are going to pit at all, go on to soft tyres, or if they'll have a spare set of soft tyres for the end. We'll have to wait and see. Too late, mate. Pitted, but crucially has got himself a 5-second time penalty, and that is going to be music to Faddy's ears. As the intermediates are put on with 5 laps to go under, and with a couple of those laps under safety car as well. Better be safe than sorry. Although it looks like to me that the rain is it still lashing down? I'm not too sure. Federico Sammy doing some completely different to go of anxiety, completely cutting the track there. That's pretty interesting. Go of anxiety going on to soft tyres. Joe Royal also pitting onto new soft tyres. So Faddy is now behind the safety car, waiting for F1 to catch up. So with penalties, because Faddy is, well, effectively keep penalty free, and he's won the race. He stays out in front. It's been a fantastic drive from the Red Bull. Federico Sammy, the both Federicos I should say are on 8 seconds of penalties, so they'll need to try and pull out a gap to the likes of Bob Sada, the GOAT, and Yari, who have only got 5 seconds, and then Mavs UK's got 9 seconds as well, is it? Yep, Carcat then 3 seconds, El Chocker. Crucially, only Scotty Fennell and Faddy have not got penalties, although I wonder if Faddy was able to serve his 5 seconds in the pit lane. I'm pretty sure he had one, unless I'm going absolutely crazy. And Federico Sammy opting for track position, and up against intermediate tyre runners. That might have not been the worst idea either from the Haas driver. So Harry Colley coming out of the pits and is going to try and catch up to the rest of the queue. Looks like Joe Royal is unfortunately a lap down, is not going to be able to unlap himself either, which is a massive shame for him. Looks like Rocky's got that problem as well. Not being allowed to pass Faddy to unlap himself. but it's going to be at least another lap. I reckon the safety car will come in at the end of this lap. Let's hope anyway, so we get at least 2 laps for the end of the race. So as always guys, very quickly, 60 to 90 seconds to go and grab a quick drink and a snack for the final few laps of Season 2 SRL Tier 1. And the rain is really hammering it down now, and oh, this is going to be, for the ones who are still on slicks, this could have killed their race, because it's going to be so hard to compete with the guys on intermediates who are going to find it a lot easier to have traction and to keep their car on the track. You can see that the McLaren and there's a McLaren and a Ferrari that hasn't caught up yet, so I don't know if the safety car is going to come in or not. And the safety car is in this lap. So we are going to get to go racing for 3 laps. And Too Late Mate will want to clear Faddy if he can as quick as possible to try and get that 5-second gap so he can win this race. And yeah, there we go racing once again here, and already yellow flags in sector 1. I'm not sure if someone's gone off at all. As like Frico Sammy is really dropping places now. The guys on the slicks are really struggling, and Harry Cully has had to retire from the race to become our 4th retirement. And looks like Yari's had a really good start. He's now up to P5. So really good restart from him. Faddy's held on to P1 out in front at the moment. Well, there's got Too Late Mate chasing him down fast. Carcraft and El Trocker. Carcraft, I don't think I was expecting him, and there's a bit of contact between the two. As they still go side by side here, and I think as El Trocker managed to get out in front, he'll have... Oh, and they're still touching each other! Carcraft holds on to the position for now and keeps holding P7. El Trocker's going to be pretty dangerous as we come on to the start-finish straight. Of course, no DRS now, so it's only about ERS that they've got to play with. As Rocky's got himself a 5-second time penalty for speed in the pit lane. So that's a shame for him, of course, had to pit because of the heavy rain. But crucially out in front, Faddy's just managed to extend the gap by a couple of attempts. Has almost got himself out of a second. Has the Red Bull driver. So very good stuff from him. Meanwhile, Yari trying to close up to Bob Sada. As Rocky has now retired from the race. Looks like he's had a tyre malfunction, has been shoved onto the hard tyres and decided that's not going to do, and he's had to retire. He becomes our 5th retirement of this final race. But as we enter the final lap here at Interlagos, Faddy still leads out in front, and I can't see Too Late Mate first of all getting past him and then pulling out a 5-second gap. So it looks like it's going to be a brilliant performance from Faddy to win this race. Let us know now, guys, who you think should be driver of the day. Very quickly, I will, that's the position changes for you if you need a little bit of help reminding where people started the race. Bob's has been another fantastic race from him, brilliant recovery. This gives him up into P4. I don't know whether penalties will drop him down though. So as we jump on board with Faddy, who is definitely going to win the race. Fantastic stuff from him. He wins the Brazil Grand Prix. Too late, mate. Takes P2 on track. Was he going to hold on to that? Frico takes P3. Bob Sad on the podium because of penalties. Yari takes P4. Carcraft P5. Frico Toxic up to P6. El Choca P7. Mazri UK takes P8. Witchy P9. Govin's IT very comfortably is going to take P10. Although I haven't said that, he's really struggling to even get round this final corner on these soft tyres. And I think because of that, the Scotty Fennell, is he maybe going to get him on penalties to take the final point position? Is our resident weatherman. Scotty Fennell comes across the line, and he does indeed get points. Brilliant effort from Scotty. Frico Sammy is going to come across the line and round off the grid. And an absolutely incredible race. Just absolutely insane. Driver of the day is being given to Too Late, mate. And no surprise at all. What a fantastic stuff from him. From the back of the grid, he fought his way all the way back. Up into P2, but he's not going to get my driver of the day because he got the championship win. So I've voted him many times. I'm going to give driver of the day to Bob Sad, who arguably maybe should have got it last week, and he's come through to get a very good podium finish for him. So Bob Sada, congratulations, mate! You are my driver of the day. So I will see you in the press room if you're listening. So I said from P15 as well. Did Bob. But Faddy wins the race, started P4 and takes P1. Staying out under the first, when it started raining the first time, really helped him. And then obviously the safety car, able to get on to intermediates and just preserve his win. Absolutely fantastic stuff from Faddy. And that is it, guys. That is the end of the season. It's been a pleasure to commentate it for you all. I hope you've all enjoyed it. And yeah, that's all there is to say from me, really. Enjoy the rest of your weeks. And I look forward to seeing you all for Season 3. Here in SRL. But until then, guys, stay safe, take care all, and I will see you all later. Ta-ra.